Can you turn on your video, please?
Yeah, sure. Is it visible?
Yeah. Join with the laptop, right?
Yeah,
Shall we start?
yeah, sure.
Just give me a quick introduction about yourself and your career journey.
Okay. So, I have completed my master degree in 2018 from Pune, Navroji Wadia College, and from then, now I have been working on React.js for last 4 years.
Okay,
So
okay.
I have worked on couple of projects from different domains like healthcare, banking, IoT, and e-commerce. So the
Okay.
mainly my roles and responsibilities to create the UI component using React.js and API, web service integrations and bug fixings and the maintenance of the project.
Okay, okay.
So most of the time, in my this current organization, I am working solely, and in my previous organization, I was the part of the team.
Okay. So on a scale of 10, if you want to rate yourself, how much would you rate in React.js?
So 7,
Okay. And what about JavaScript? How much would you rate in JavaScript?
6, 7, 7,
Okay, okay. What about CSS?
5, 4.
Fair enough. Okay, let's start with some React.js basics, okay?
Mhm.
Can you tell me what are all components of React.js?
Components means their type.
Yeah, different types of components.
So we have controlled components, uncontrolled components. Then we have
Mm-hmm.
stateful components, stateless components, or the
Mm-hmm.
presentational components, container components, and we can create them either by using class or the function.
Okay. So you have idea about class based and functional based or both or any one of them?
Yeah, I have idea about both. I have worked on both the things.
Okay. So can you tell me what is class based component and what are all React.js lifecycle methods used in it? Just explain them.
Okay, so initially on my initial projects, I have worked on the older version of React.js in which I use the class components. So if I try to recall, there are three phases basically: mounting phase, updating phase, and the unmounting phase. So in
Okay.
unmounting phase, so we have component will unmount, and the rest of the method which start from the will are deprecated. So apart from that, we have the constructor in mounting phase, then get state from derived props, that is a static method.
With
After
derived state
yeah,
because.
after that we have render, and after that component did mount. And in updating phase, we have this get state from the static method get state from derived props, and I think after that should component update is there, and after that render, and
Okay.
after that component did update.
Okay.
So this is
Okay.
the updating phase.
Okay. So in a render, can we pass null? So if I pass null, so will my component going to run?
Yeah, it will run, but it will not display anything.
Okay. Okay.
You mean returning null, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In render, I will return null. In that case. Suppose I want to update a state. So how I'm going to update a state in class component?
We will use a set state if we are using any variable instead.
So set state, how many parameters that set state method will accept? Any idea?
Yeah, it will. It ideally we can pass two parameters if required. The second one is the callback function.
Mm-hmm.
If since the set state is asynchronous, and React updates the update or call this function in a batch, we can say. So if we want to perform a particular action and we want to make sure that the state has been updated,
Okay.
so we can pass the callback function and we can perform any side effect over there.
Okay.
And the first parameter is the state object that we whatever we want to update.
Okay. Can you tell me what is named export and what is default export?
Yeah, so default export we do not. We can return the unnamed function from there,
Mm-hmm.
and we can import it as a default. And if we are mentioning the name, then we can export them and we can access them by name while importing.
Oh, okay. 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 Let's get back to some functional component. Okay.
Yeah,
Can you
sure.
tell me what is functional component and different types of hooks you have worked on in functional component?
So basically, functional component means we can use the state inside our functional component.
Mhm.
So previously also we can create component using function, but we were not able to use the state variable. So now we can use the state variable, and there are a couple of hooks that are introduced in React 16.8. So use state is there, use effect is there, use context is there, use reducer is there.
So,
So these are the hooks provided, and uh, the main advantage is if you want to uh, extract the business logic, so we can use the hooks, and we can use that same hook in all our components.
okay. So let's say there is a login page, okay?
Mhm.
Login page. So just design a login page using functional component.
Mhm.
There will be username, there will be password, there will be a login button.
Mhm.
And once you hit the login button, it will validate those input
Mhm.
and will navigate user to the dashboard screen.
Mhm.
Just share your screen and open any editor of your choice and just write down this.
Okay. Is it visible to you?
Yeah, it is visible.
Just uh, where I can see that I'm not able to see the shared screen actually.
You don't have to see, you just have to start your process. I can able to see whatever you think.
Okay. So I'll just. Do you want me to do it in React?
No, just don't worry about the import and other part.
Mhm.
Just start with the logic.
Okay. Let's say this is our login screen. My code editor is visible to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It is fine if I use these, or I have to write everything from scratch.
Don't worry about the import part. Just write down the logic of the
Okay.
functional component. That's it.
Okay. So can you please repeat the requirement?
It will be just a simple login screen,
Mhm.
username, password,
Mhm.
login button.
Mhm.
On click of login button, there will be a function.
Mhm.
Just navigate user to the dashboard screen. Let's say there is a dashboard screen.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So we have our first input box. Now we have to do anything with the inputs, or okay. Either we can write this here inline, or we can just write handler function for it.
Okay.
So
Whatever you are comfortable.
if time is not constant, then I can write the handler functions, or I'll just call this setter method here.
Yeah, whatever you are comfortable.
Okay. Now it has two approaches basically. I can use single state variable for both the things, and I can write one handler method, or I can just
Okay.
separate. Yeah.
Got it.
I'm writing it
Okay.
differently.
That's it, I think. Just paste this code in the chat window and stop the screen sharing.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just paste it.
Box. Yeah, I have pasted it in chat.
Okay. Just stop the screen sharing and turn on the video.
Okay. Let's okay, stop story. Is it with okay.
Can you turn off the video?
Yeah, I have. I'm not
Okay.
to
Yeah, it's fine. Done. Okay. What do you use for API calls?
Earlier I was using Axios, but right now in current projects I'm using Fetch.
Fetch. Okay. So any difference between Axios and Fetch you found out or you want to share?
No, I haven't found out any difference except the interceptors that I had used in the Axios for some reasons. But on my recent project, I haven't used interceptors with Fetch, so
Oh,
I need to check. Apart from that, I don't think because both are the returns the promises.
okay. So the promises.
Sorry.
Promises have you worked on?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Can you tell me what is promise and what is async await?
Basically, whenever we want to do some asynchronous task, we use promises, and async await are just syntactical sugar or the promises.
Oh,
And earlier we used to write callback functions if we
okay.
want to do something after the asynchronous task. So now, alternative to that, we have the promises that avoids that callback help problem. So
Okay.
promise returns two things, either three states. So either it is in pending state, or it resolves, or it resets.
Okay. 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 Have you worked on Redux?
Yeah.
Can you highlight the main components of the Redux? Like,
Uh, as per my understanding, we use Redux for the store management to handle store centrally. So there is one complete cycle. Like let's say if some action happens, so we triggers particular action function that triggers the type, and that type matches in the reducer, and we update the particular state. So on button click, we trigger particular action. That action causes maybe API call or some update in data, and we then that control goes to the reducer file. Then we update our main store over there, and since the props are updated, our components get the updated props, and we can do whatever we want.
okay. Okay. Got it. Can we use multiple reducers in Redux?
Multiple reducers in the sense, I didn't get you.
Let's say there is, I want to use more than one reducer.
I haven't tried it. What I have done is per module I create one reducer file, and I combine all the reducers using combine reducer.
Yeah, that's what I was explaining. Combined
Yeah,
reducers.
yeah.
What about store? Can we have multiple stores?
No, I haven't tried that. Means
Okay.
no idea basically. We
Okay.
will need to
Okay.
check.
So, what is the use of middleware in Redux?
So if you want to perform particular actions in between, let's say logging, so we can write middleware function. We can pass that middleware function, which will be act as a intermediator. So something happens, we are doing something between, and then something else, the output. So here, whatever we
Oh,
want to do, we can do. Like Redux Thunk we have, or the now Redux dev tool that we use as a middleware. So we can see.
oh. Okay, let's move on to some CSS part. Okay. Tell me what is Flex?
So basically, uh, uh, it is tool flexbox tool which we use to arrange the elements. Earlier is I use either row or columns, and alternative to that we can use flex to arrange
Oh,
the elements.
can you tell me difference between justify content and align items?
Okay, it is a bit difficult for me maybe. So I have done it, but justify content means uh, let's say we want to place the element in between. So if we are
Mm-hmm.
using justify content, there are several options. I have used class from bootstrap where we can leave the space from start and ending, or we can leave the space in between, or you can align them evenly. And align item means I think we align them vertically. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I think.
Okay. Okay. Just like align item you said like it will work vertically. Justify content will work horizontally. So
Oh.
for example, if you want to say justify content center and align item center, so let's say justify content center is horizontally center and
Mhm.
align item center will be vertically center.
Okay, got it. Right.
Just for reference. Okay. Okay, let's move on to some JavaScript part. Okay. Can you tell me some ES6 features of JavaScript?
Yeah, I have used destructuring, arrow function, let
Mhm.
const, and apart from that, what we call the template literal
Okay, okay.
and optional chaining. It is not from ES6, but it came in later version. And
So, can you tell me difference between map, filter, and reduce method?
yeah, so whenever we want to return array with some values in it, so we can use map method. And
Mhm.
whenever we want to filter out the array on particular conditions, so we can use filter over there. And reduce can mutate the or can update the array as per our, not I'll say update. Let's say
Mhm.
I want to add the number from 1 to n, so reduce takes that second parameter as initial value, and we can use that to add up with the whatever current value we are getting, so current plus
Okay.
accumulator, that kind of.
Okay. Can you tell me, have you worked on a spread operator and rest operator?
Yes.
So, any difference or how a spread operator and rest operator works?
So if my function is having multiple parameters and I don't want
Mhm.
to access all of them, so what I can
Okay.
do, I can name the initial parameters that whatever I want, and for rest of the parameters I can use those three dots. So that we call as a rest. And spread operator, whenever we want to like make the copy of an existing object, we expand it in the new object. So at that time we use spread.
Do you know what are all the rules for using spread operator? Have you gone through it?
No, but
Oh,
mostly I use it to shallow copy the objects.
okay. I'm sending you one piece of snippet. Just predict the output. What will be the output?
Okay. Oh, oh, oh. Uh, I am able to see the two. Um,
Yeah, yeah. So what will be the output of statement one and what will be the output of statement two?
for one, it will be true,
Mm-hmm.
and for two, it will be false.
Oh, okay. What about this one? If I console log, what will be the output?
Where is 70 plus 70 plus string 70? Maybe it will, from here it will happen left to right to left. For 7 plus 7, it would be 77, but now we have 70 plus 7 plus string 7. I'm not able to recall the order in which it will happen. I mean, left to right or right to left. But if it happens left to right, then it will be 777. And if it will happen from right to left,
Then again, it will be triple seven.
okay,
Have you worked on closure?
yeah, yes.
So next function snippet is based on closure only. Just predict the output.
Okay. See more. Function A, function B. If true, let apple equal to apple and banana equal to banana. Console.log apple banana. We are calling B console.log apple and banana. This is written inside B. Okay, we are calling function A as function B. We are calling B. So block scope, whereas global scope. So immediately the let is making me confused. Console. Okay.
That
Uh, Apple and Google. For banana, it will be banana for first console log, which is inside the function itself, function B itself.
okay.
And for Apple, it will be reference error.
Okay. Got it.
And after
Okay. I sent you one more piece of snippet.
Mhm.
Let's say I want to add B17 at very first position in the array. How I can do that?
70 in the first position,
Yeah.
we can use slice or splice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say I want to add it now into the last position,
Mhm.
but I don't want to use splice or slice. I don't want to use push pop. I don't want to use any inbuilt function. How I can do that?
We can take the length of the array
Mhm.
and we can directly a of array dot length
Okay.
and
B.
equal to assign that value.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Got it. Or we can do with the spread operator as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Ushav, I think that's it from my end. I will share my feedback with HR and she will get back to you. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Bye. Have a nice evening.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah. Thank you. The same here. Bye.